let me ask you about your thoughts and beliefs about external marketing or advertising.
Yeah, publicity. Advertising.
I like
publicity.
how you called it publicity.
Publicity.
Ogilvy said that everybody wants publicity, and he said advertising is publicity.
Yeah. In fact, Ogilvy, I've read every book, by the way, of David Ogilvy, even his memoirs and all of that.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Because he's probably still the best foundational rock anyone could read from a marketing perspective, because really, he knew what he was talking about. And we've moved so far away from that, it's kind of a mess right now. But the reality is that we're in a period where dental supply exceeds demand. And this kind of goes back to earlier, I mentioned these periods of time where we've had kind of a lot of economic expansion in dentistry, but right now we're contracting. Supply exceeds demand. There's no demand. So the only way to create demand is you got to go to the public, and you got to market, you got to have publicity, and that's the irony is an average general practice, their demand is going down, but yet these niche-oriented doctors, as soon as they go to the public and they get publicity, they go on shows like Wellness Hour, they run marketing in newspapers, on the radio, on the internet. Guess what? They create demand.
But what do you say to the people that say, well, we tried this and it didn't work. That's why we don't do it anymore.
Yeah. Most of the time they've imitated advertising that didn't work to start with. And that's really the problem.
So it's a bad ad, it's not going to get results.
Exactly. Exactly.
So do you lay this out for them?
Yeah.
I mean, you help them with their ad, the content.
Right.
I know you did with the guy that I interviewed today.
Yeah, well, we can design the ads for the practices, and a lot of times, you sort of have a choice. You got to have guys who want to do it themselves, and that's fine because we've got tools for that. You can log in, do it yourself. We'll give you the templates, give you the training, all those things. And then you've got people who say, I'm too busy for that. I'm going to pay you guys to do it. And then we design the ads for the practice and then get them into place, get it placed in use, and then help train their staff. Because ultimately, these businesses are still not large enough where they can hire full-time people to do these things, so that they do need help.
So they can start small,
yeah,
and increase as they get returns.
Absolutely.
Is that what you?
Absolutely. So like just a case in point, since we're on here on the show, if someone starts running once a week here and their online ads are maybe spending a couple of grand a month, as soon as they start getting cases and are growing, we need to up the marketing so we get more cases until they hit the point where they can't do any more dentistry. So basically we start matching what they're spending to how many cases they want to do. And as soon as you can't do, either you decide I'm too busy, and that's where you stay with the marketing, or you hire more people and go on to build from there.
One of the things that I've noticed, like oral surgeons, periodontists, that never had to advertise before.
Right.
But now, because of technology, there's a lot of guys placing and restoring implants.
Right.
The periodontists are dealing with the LANAP protocol.
Yep.
So what do you say to those guys?
For the specialists, here's the irony. They're sort of stuck in the mindset of the old school way of how the specialties work. And they fear that as soon as they go to the public, the referrals will dry up. Well,
yeah.
It's actually the opposite.
You found that?
Found that. And the periodontists are paranoid, the oral surgeons are paranoid. The prosthodontists have been forced into it. And actually most prosthodontists are hurting a lot because they don't market. But the periodontists and oral surgeons have been forced into it because of the shrinking demand. So now suddenly they start doing it, and then what they find is they actually get more referrals. Because as soon as they put themselves out as the experts, that's really what we're doing. We're teaching people to really be the expert. They've already got expert skills, but let's just inform the world that they're the experts. And as a result of that, the dentists see the marketing. It's good marketing. And suddenly they go, well, maybe that guy is really good, so I will send him more patients. So the irony is they sort of get the cake and they eat it too.
Glad to hear that, by the way. I mean, I hear that
Yeah.
from doctors that are periodontists, and it's like they were out of sight, out of mind, and now they go, oh, that's right.
And this is really outside the box thinking for specialists too. But you have this great opportunity as a specialist to lead your referring doctors, and even bring them into selling better. And now everyone wins more because you've got two teams that are selling better. And suddenly, you just have better things happening between the practice, better cases being done, and everybody wins. So what I say to these specialists is, identify your top referring doctors, and let's bring them all into the equation and get everyone on board with better marketing and sales.